A new day dawns, and with it comes the opportunity to draw closer to God in the midst of your anguish. His light rises upon your life today. Guided by Psalm 13, I invite you to turn your "How long, Lord?" into trust and your lament into praise. May this prayer renew your hope and allow you to rest in His faithful mercy. Let us now listen to the word of the Lord, contained in the psalm attributed to King David, a fervent plea born in the night of "How long, Lord?" and flowing into the clear morning of trust. In its lines, the psalmist asks for light for his eyes and strength for his heart, teaching us to transform lament into praise and anguish into hope. May each verse of this psalm kindle in us the faith that perseveres and waits in divine mercy. From the book of Psalms, Psalm 13. How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Look on me and answer, Lord my God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death, and my enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing the Lord's praise, for he has been good to me. Lord my God, here I am at the beginning of this day with an open heart and eyes still searching for the first light. I come to you with humility and trust, knowing that I need your presence more than breath itself. You know my thoughts before I speak them. You know where I ache and what troubles me. And yet, you invite me to come close without fear this morning. I place before you the burden burning inside me. Morning prayer with the psalm, a plea of trust in the midst of anguish. I come like one who listens to the murmur of a river at dawn and learns to recognize your voice among so many noises. And I say to you, Lord, you are my firm rock when everything around me shakes. You are the lamp that lights a small but sufficient fire to pass through the night. I come with my how long, and I do not hide them, because I know that your faithful love is not scandalized by my weariness. How long will my chest feel heavy? How long will it seem that the answer delays? How long will the enemy of my peace whisper that it is not worth continuing? But when I speak to you, something within me comes into order, as when the silent dawn overcomes the darkness without fighting. I present this day to you as a simple offering. My work, my decisions, my family, my steps. I ask you to take them in your hands and bless them, align them with your will, protect them from all evil, and season them with your wisdom. Lord, when I feel small before the battles of life, you remind me that I am not alone, that your mercy surrounds me like a mantle that covers and defends in this morning. I want to learn to breathe in your peace, to look with faith at what I still do not understand, to walk lightly even when the path rises. I want, like the psalmist, to tell you sincerely what hurts, but also to affirm what I know, that your love does not fail, that your salvation rejoices my heart, that your promises are firmer than my fears. Gather, Lord, every tear I could not express. Heal the cracks of my spirit. Strengthen in me the certainty that you are at work, even when silence seems prolonged. Enlighten my eyes, my God, so that I do not fall asleep in despair. Let your light enter through the cracks of my doubts and make hope bloom again. If some worry has grown too great in my mind, set it before your greatness. If some sadness has tried to take root, tear it out with your comfort. If some lie has taken the shape of truth, destroy it with your word. Teach me to look beyond the surface, to discover that every morning is a new beginning, a blank page, where I can write with you stories of faith and victory. Today I decide to trust in your love, not in empty optimism, but in the certainty that you are faithful and your mercy sustains me. I decide to believe that there is no night that your light cannot pierce, nor valley so deep that your hand cannot reach. I decide to sing, even if my voice trembles, because praise is my anchor and my shield, the breath my spirit takes when strength falters. May my praise rise to you like fresh incense. May my gratitude be the fragrance of this morning. May my obedience be the concrete response to your tenderness. Lord, I place before you those I love. Guard their steps, strengthen their hearts, open doors of blessing and close paths of confusion. Pour out your providence on the needs I do not yet know how to name, and grant clarity where decisions must be made. If there are old wounds that bleed in secret, bring your balm. If there are guilt that weigh like stones, bring your forgiveness. If there are fears that paralyze, bring the freedom only you give. You are the good shepherd who knows each of his sheep, who calls them by name, who leads them to fields of rest and to springs of living water. Lord, I thank you for the faith that lets me face anguish with my head held high, for the hope that does not run out, for the love that reconciles what seemed lost. Thank you for Psalm 13, for the courage of David to confess his pain to you and for his boldness to end in song. May his journey be mine today, from lament to trust, from question to certainty, from shadow to praise. Take my words as seeds and make them grow into actions full of life. Take my silences as rest in your heart, and rekindle in me the joy of one who knows that you care for everything. And so, Lord, I begin this day in your name, with your peace as my compass, and your love as my sustenance, that every encounter may be marked by your goodness, that every task may carry the seal of your presence, that every challenge may be an opportunity to see your glory. If the enemy wants to say, I have overcome him, may my soul respond with the truth. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And if my heart falters, may your spirit strengthen it, like one who lays the foundation of a house upon rock. Today I choose your path, your time, your way. Today I set myself to listen and to obey, to trust and to give thanks, to ask and to wait, knowing that your hands sustain me and your gaze enlightens me. Beloved Lord, here I am still with the echo of how long resounding in my chest. But when I place myself in your presence, I begin to perceive that I am not before a wall, but before an open door. Your nearness does not always arrive with thunder. Many times it is like the dew no one sees falling, and yet it soaks the earth and makes it fruitful. Such is your goodness every morning, quiet, inexhaustible, and faithful. Today I want to pause to recognize you in the simple things, in what I sometimes take for granted, in the breath that comes and goes without noise, in the light that overcomes the shadows, in the silent pulse that beats, reminding me that your hand holds me. You are not far away, Lord. You are the God who dwells among us. You are the one who bends down and listens, the one who looks and answers, the one who gives light to my eyes so that I will not fall asleep in the death of discouragement. I recognize you in the patience with which you wait for me. While my questions multiply, your mercy does not run out. While my strength falters, your faithfulness is renewed. In the psalm, when the psalmist cries out from the depths, he does not find indifference but a love that leads him from anguish to praise. And that is what I want for myself today, to move along that same path where your presence clears the fog of dark thoughts. If my worries have built giants of shadow, your goodness lifts the sun behind them and teaches me that every giant has limits, but your grace does not. Lord, your presence is like a lamp lit in the window of a house at night. It tells me there is home, there is warmth, there is refuge, and I run to that light because I know you wait for me with tenderness that does not humiliate or reproach, with truth that frees without wounding. I admit that many times I do not know how to read your silences, and I confess that I interpret them as absence. But you teach me that your silence is not abandonment, but preparation. It is not distance, but depth. It is not indifference, but a delicate way of maturing perseverance within me while I count the minutes. You are tuning my heart so that it can receive the full melody. Today, Father, I choose to name your goodness because by remembering it my soul is strengthened. You have kept me when I did not deserve it. You have provided for me when resources seemed exhausted. You have comforted me with words I did not expect. You have guided me along paths I did not know. Your mercy has been my shade at noon and my shelter at dawn. You have placed people beside me as bridges when I saw impassable rivers. You have opened doors where others saw only walls. You have given meaning to tears I thought were useless. And even if I do not yet perceive the outcome, I can declare that your goodness is older than my wound and more solid than my fears. Enlighten my eyes, my God, to recognize where you are today. Perhaps in the simple word of a friend, in the invitation to forgive, in the generous gesture of one who expects nothing in return, in the cleanness of a sky that reminds me that your mercy is unstained. Give me the grace to see the good that is already at work, because sometimes anguish narrows my vision and focuses only on the threat. Place on my sight the lens of your hope, so that I may discover flowers in the rocky ground and seeds of the future where I saw only barren soil. Teach me to read the details as daily sacraments, the bread that is shared, the door that opens, the word that encourages, the peace that gently descends and reorders my inner self. Lord, today I acknowledge that your goodness is a river that never stops flowing even when the season seems like drought. You have carved deep channels in my story, and you know where to bring forth living water. When David asked you to look, to answer, and to enlighten, he was not calling to a stranger but to a God with whom he had a history. And I too want to embrace my history with you, to remember my small Passovers, my silent rescues, my returns home, each of your salvations, great or small, singing within me like a choir that keeps me from forgetting who you are. And when I know who you are, I can rest, even if not everything is resolved. I praise you, Lord, because your goodness does not depend on my mood, nor is it extinguished by my doubts. You continue to be good when I am tired. You continue to be faithful when I am distracted. You continue to be Father when I feel orphaned, and this morning I hold on to that truth like a mast in the middle of the storm. Your love is the rope that holds me to the ship. Your peace is the keel that cuts through the waves. Your word is the lighthouse that guides me. If my inner enemy wants to say, I have overcome him, my faith will respond. The Lord has been good to me and will continue to be. And it is not an illusion. It is grateful memory of your constant action. Today, Lord, I do not ask first that you change my circumstances, but that you steady my heart in your presence. When you are there, everything falls into place. When you reign, the pieces fit. When your light comes, the shadows retreat without noise. If I must wait, let it be in your arms. If I must fight, let it be with your armor. If I must be silent, let it be to hear your voice better. If I must speak, let it be to sow hope. May my breathing follow the rhythm of your mercy, and may every heartbeat repeat without tiring that your love never fails. Father, I recognize your presence at this very moment. I do not need spectacular proofs to believe, because your footprints are everywhere in the forgiveness you give me, in the patience with which your Spirit shapes me, in the peace that surpasses my understanding, in the strength that appears when I know myself weak. Thank you for being here, for staying, for walking by my side. Thank you, because even without seeing the whole path, I can say with the psalmist, I trust in your love, and my heart rejoices in your salvation. And from that joy born of trust, I am ready to live this day with a new spirit, knowing that your goodness goes before me, surrounds me, and will follow me all my days. Lord, as I open my eyes to this new day, I feel that you hand me a blank page where your grace is ready to write lines of hope. Yesterday may have been a chapter of questions and silences, perhaps with the thick ink of anguish, but today you call me to take the pen of faith and to write with you words of trust. The psalm resounds within me like a journey I know. It begins with the cry of, "How long, Lord?" and ends with the grateful song of one who surrenders to your love. I want to walk that path with you this morning, step by step, breathing deeply, letting your light filter through the cracks of my doubts until they become open windows to heaven. I thank you because you grant me to begin again, because every dawn brings the possibility of choosing you, of listening to you, of looking at life not from fear but from your promise. In this dawn, I want to see my day as a workshop where you, divine craftsman, work with patience. There are pieces that do not yet fit, edges that scrape, questions that were left halfway. But you gather everything, you blow away the dust, straighten what is crooked, and give back shine to what is dull. Thank you, Lord, because your mercy did not tire of me yesterday and will not tire today. Thank you because your love does not hold grudges for my clumsiness, but invites me to learn, to rise again, to persist. If the psalmist asked you, enlighten my eyes, I ask it too, and thank you in advance for the light that dispels the drowsiness of the soul. for the clarity that allows me to distinguish the essential from the accessory, for the wisdom that teaches me to order the heart. Before today's agenda, I give thanks for what I have and also for what I do not have, because both are teachers. What I have reminds me that your providence cares for me with meticulous detail, the bread that was not lacking, the conversation that sustained me, the rest that was enough to restore strength, the laughter that eased old burdens. What I do not have teaches me to wait, to not update my plans prematurely, to trust that your timing is never late. Thank you, Lord, for the doors that have opened, and for those that remain closed, for in both I discover your guiding hand. If one door closed to protect me, thank you. If another will open to send me forth, thank you also. Give me the serenity of one who knows that your map is wider than my view, and that your path, even when it curves, never goes astray. I am grateful for the people you have placed along my path, those whose faith inspires me and whose companionship reminds me that I do not walk alone. Bless those who have extended a hand without asking anything in return, those who prayed for me in secret, those who spoke a timely word when I was about to give up. And I thank you also for those who challenge me, for those who have made me stop and examine my intentions, for those who have taught me to forgive and to ask for forgiveness. In all of them you do your work, shaping my character, purifying my motives, teaching me to love as you love, without conditions and without measure. Today, I am grateful for work, whatever form it takes, silent labor at home, a demanding task, an open-ended search. Thank you for the dignity of building, of contributing, of serving. If you grant me stable employment, teach me to do it with excellence and gratitude. If I am in transition, give me the courage to persevere and to learn what this stage wants to teach me. In any case, may my work be prayer and offering. May my hands labor with the awareness that your gaze accompanies them. May my decisions seek good and justice. May my creativity be a channel of your generosity. And if today trials appear, I want to thank you in advance for the opportunity to see your faithfulness in action. I do not like the valley, Lord, but in the valley deep roots grow. I do not like the waiting, but in the waiting trust is exercised. I do not like farewells, but sometimes they open space for new encounters. Thank you for transforming bitterness into medicine, what is crooked into a path, what is incomplete into promise. Thank you for teaching me to sing even with a weak voice, because praise does not deny reality, it reorders it in the light of your truth. David did the same. He did not ignore the weight of his heart, but chose to remember the story of your love, and that changed the music of his soul. Lord, I thank you for the gift of your word, a lamp to my feet. Psalm 13 tunes me to your heart. You allow me to be honest without losing hope. You encourage me to ask without ceasing to give thanks. You invite me to trust before seeing the complete solution. Thank you for teaching me that faith is not denying anguish, but walking with it toward you. It is not resigned silence, but persevering dialogue that ends in praise. Thank you because in your presence I can rest without hiding my scars, and from that rest, new strength is born, more serene and firm. I thank you, Lord, for the small signs you will give me today, perhaps a clear sky speaking of your faithfulness, perhaps a providential encounter, perhaps an intuition that saves me from a stumble, perhaps the simple peace of one who knows he is on the way. Let me not pass by the quiet good you plant in the day. May my gaze not cling so much to what is lacking that it ignores what is abundant. May my mouth become accustomed to blessing before complaining. May my mind stay anchored in your promises and not in my fears. Teach me to give thanks in real time, to turn every breath into thanksgiving, every obstacle into a reason for growth, every achievement into an occasion to recognize your hand. Today, Lord, I want to raise an altar of gratitude within, with the simple stones of the everyday, with the wood of my routines, with the flame of my faith. There I place what I am and what I have, my affections and my plans, my fragilities and my dreams, that this altar may perfume my day and remind me at every hour that I do not walk alone, that your love goes before and follows me, that your salvation is joy in my heart, even when my surroundings do not change at the speed I wish. And if the questions of how long return, let my memory respond. I trust in your love, and let my will decide to sing because you have been good to me and will continue to be. Thank you, Lord, for this dawn that inaugurates possibilities. Thank you for the peace you plant even now, like a quiet seed that will sprout in its time. Thank you for teaching my hands to work with hope, my feet to walk with steadiness, my heart to beat with gratitude. May my whole day be a concrete response to your goodness, more patience where there is tension, more listening where there is noise, more service where there is need, more truth where there is confusion, more forgiveness where the wound persists. And when evening falls, may I look back and discover that between my steps and your footprints there is almost no distance, because you have walked with me and have made of this blank page a testimony of your faithfulness. Father, as I make the words of the psalm my own, I remember that I do not walk alone on this path where lament is transformed into trust and night into song. There are ancient footprints that serve as guides, testimonies of women and men who, like me, asked, "How long?" and yet chose to wait in your mercy. Today I want to look at them as beacons in my own storm, to learn from their concrete faith, from their tested patience, from their obedience that opened paths where once there were walls. Make their stories not distant anecdotes, but windows through which your light enters my present and teaches me to live this day with a hope that does not disappoint. I think of Peter, Lord, when the night on the lake had grown long and the winds were against him. He saw you coming, walking on the water, and dared to step out of the boat at the sound of your voice. Like me, Peter knew the weight of doubt. One gust of wind was enough for his faith to falter and for him to begin to sink. But there, at the edge of fear, his cry was simple and deep, "Lord, save me!" And your hand, quick and firm, held him. Here before my own waves, I want to learn that lesson. It is not about denying the wind, but about fixing my gaze on you. It is not about measuring the strength of the storm, but about remembering that your word holds more firmly than the wood of my boat. When I sink into worries, teach me to cry out with the same honesty, to accept your hand without shame, to return to the boat with the humility of one who has discovered that faith is not the absence of fear, but the decision to lean on you. Still trembling, enlighten my eyes to see you walking upon my restless waters, and if I dare to step out, let it be to go toward you and not to show anything to anyone. I pause also at Daniel, that young man who decided not to defile his heart in a foreign land and ended up in a lion's den for being faithful in prayer. His story teaches me that there are nights when faithfulness seems useless, when confinement and roaring try to silence all hope. But you, Lord, sent your angel and shut the mouths of the beasts. Give me that daily perseverance of Daniel, that constancy that does not bargain with what is essential, that habit of opening the windows of the soul to you 3 times a day. Even if the decree of haste, of fear, or of culture demands otherwise. And if I must descend into a pit of uncertainties, let my trust not rest in my cleverness, but in your real presence. May I be able to say like Daniel at dawn, "My God has sent his angel." And even if I do not see angels, may it be enough to know that your love surrounds me like a wall of fire, and that your faithfulness encamps around those who fear you. Let my "how long" not lead me to resignation, but to perseverance in prayer that opens the heavens. Lord, I look at Joseph, son of Jacob, and I find in him a school of patience. His "how longs" must have been many, sold by his brothers, falsely accused, forgotten in prison, far from his home and his dreams. Yet you were with him, and there in the hidden places, you were weaving what would later be salvation for many. Teach me to manage well the small Egypts entrusted to me, the places I did not choose, but where I can still be faithful. The tasks I did not dream of, but where I can still serve. The silences I did not ask for, but where I can still mature. Whether in Potiphar's house, in prison, or in the palace, in any season of my life, let me do what is before me with integrity, knowing that your providence never loses the thread. And when the time comes to interpret dreams, let me not claim the merit, but confess that all wisdom comes from you. If today I have reason to say, "How long will this injustice last?" Give me Joseph's long vision, able to see that you turn evil into good, and that your plan, though it may pass through tunnels, leads to light. I think, Lord, of Esther, that woman who from anonymity and fear received a call to intercede for her people. Her how long may have been the trembling in her heart as she prepared to appear uninvited, risking everything. Yet her fasting, her prayer, and her courage opened a door to your favor. Teach me to intercede like Esther for my community, for those who suffer, for those without a voice. Do not let me remain in the comfort of my inner palace when there is a cry all around me. If I have any influence, small or great, let me lay it at your feet. If I have resources, let me turn them into service. If I have fear, let it become fasting and supplication. And when the time comes to speak, place in my mouth words that bless, that seek peace, that defend justice. Help me understand that trusting in your mercy does not remove me from history but sends me into it with the certainty that you act. I also look to Hannah, the mother of Samuel, who went to the sanctuary with a soul tied in knots. Her how long resembled mine. How long the emptiness, the humiliation, the waiting without signs. She poured out her bitterness before you without adornment, and you heard the whisper of her heart. From Hannah, I learned to pray truthfully, to not disguise my pain, to promise you the best of what I long for, to offer you in advance what I ask. If today there are desires within me that seem never to come, if there are promises still unfulfilled, give me the tenacity to return to the temple, to your presence, again and again. And when grace comes, teach me to dedicate the gift to you, as Hannah gave Samuel to you, reminding me that every good thing comes from you and returns to you. Let my praise not forget the path of tears through which it passed, so that others hearing it may discover that perseverance is worthwhile. I want to learn also from Elijah, Lord, who after great victories found himself weary and afraid, fleeing into the desert. His how long led him to a cave, where your voice was not in the mighty wind, nor in the earthquake, nor in the fire, but in the gentle whisper of a soft breeze. I ask for that delicacy for my soul, not to seek you only in the spectacular, but to tune my ear to your whisper, to accept the bread and water you give me on the journey so I may go on. If I have run too hard and grown weary, remind me that your way of teaching is patient. First you feed, then you ask, then you send. Let my trust not depend on emotional highs, but on the constancy of your presence, which speaks again to me in the quiet. Lord, I bring to mind blind Bartimaeus, sitting by the roadside, shouting against the noise of the crowd. His how long became an insistent cry. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Many wanted to silence him, but he cried out all the more until you stopped. Give me Bartimaeus's perseverance, to keep crying out even when logic or impatience want to silence me. Teach me to throw off my cloak, my old securities, to run toward you, even while still blind, because faith is sometimes like that. It stands before seeing the light. It draws near to your voice before recognizing the outlines. And when you ask me, what do you want me to do for you? Help me to ask clearly for what I need, with the humility of one who knows that all good comes from your hands. I remember Jeremiah, called from youth, who also grew weary of speaking when it seemed no one listened. His how long turned into fire in his bones, a passion he could not contain. Give me that humble fire to persevere in doing good, even when I do not see immediate results, to speak the truth in love, even when it is not applauded, to plant trees whose shade others will enjoy. Let your word burn in me enough that I do not surrender to discouragement or hardness of heart. And I return, Lord, to the figure of Mary, your humble servant, who treasured all things in her heart, even when she did not understand. Perhaps even at the foot of the cross she could have asked, how long? But her yes was never withdrawn. Teach me her fruitful silence, her faith that clings to the promise, her readiness to make space for your will. Help me to say, let it be done, in my small daily Nazareths, to receive and guard what you bring forth in me, to persevere in waiting, as one who knows that promises ripen in their time. All of them, Lord Peter, Daniel, Joseph, Esther, Hannah, Elijah, Bartimaeus, Jeremiah, Mary, show me that your mercy crosses times and circumstances, that your faithfulness does not tire, that your love is the background melody even when my own song changes its tone. Therefore, as I look at their lives, I choose to do as the psalmist did. I ask you to look to answer, to enlighten my eyes, so I will not fall asleep in the death of resignation. I decide to trust in your love, to rejoice in your salvation, and to raise a song of praise in the middle of the journey, not only at the end. If my enemy, whether within or without, wants to whisper, "I have overcome him," may my heart remember, I will sing to the Lord, for he has been good to me today, with the company of these witnesses. I stand on the promise that you are at work, even when my senses cannot name it, and that my "how long" will find its answer in your time, which is perfect and good. And so, Father, I take their examples as maps that guide me. When I doubt, I will look to you. When I fear, I will call on you. When I wait, I will praise you. When called to serve, I will present myself. When weary, I will listen for your breeze. When I cannot see, I will persist. When others do not want to hear, I will persevere. When I do not understand, I will keep in my heart the truth that every step of this journey is marked by the practical wisdom of those who walked before me, so that my story may join yours. And at the setting of the sun, my voice will join David's in a grateful song. For you, Lord, have been good to me and still are, even here, even now. Beloved Father, on this morning that opens new possibilities, I come to you with the sincerity of the psalm on my lips and in my heart. Look upon me, answer me, enlighten my eyes. I need your guidance as one needs a compass in a dense forest. Without your light, my steps are confused, my priorities disordered, my spirit scattered. I ask you, my God, to breathe your wisdom over my mind, to bring order to my thoughts, to align my decisions with your will. If I must choose a path, show me the one that leads to life. If I must speak, give me words that build up. If I must be silent, grant me the humility to listen. Guard my heart from the haste that pushes me into mistakes and from the perfectionism that paralyzes. Teach me the serene pace of one who walks holding your hand. I want to consult you before I begin, to pause and perceive your signs, to learn to recognize your open doors and accept with peace those that close. For I know that your love guides me even when I do not perceive it. Lord, I present to you my work and my livelihood. You know the needs at home, the bills awaiting payment, the projects underway, the opportunities unseen in the place where you have planted me. Give me the grace to serve with excellence and joy, that my labors may not be mere routine, but a response to your daily call. I ask you to open doors of favor before those who make decisions. Bless my hands so they may produce fruit. Guard my work from harm, and if I am seeking new opportunity, lead me to one that matches my gifts and benefits those around me. If resources seem scarce, teach me the art of prudent stewardship. If abundance comes, preserve me from pride and greed, so that generosity marks my way of living. Let your providence be my song in all things. I trust in your love, and my heart rejoices in your salvation. I ask you, Lord, for clarity in the decisions that shape the course of my life. Some paths may look straight but do not lead to peace. Some shortcuts promise much but rob the soul. Give me discernment to distinguish what comes from you and what only imitates your voice. Let your word, a lamp to my feet, illuminate the crossroads where I hesitate. Let the wise counsel of faithful people accompany me. Let the quiet signs of your Spirit confirm what I must do. And when it is time to wait, teach me to wait without despair, knowing that your timing is not delay, but loving precision. Let my "how long" not become reproach, but persevering prayer that makes room for your patient work. Lord, I entrust to you my relationships, the fine threads of daily life. Heal what has been wounded by impatient words, harsh gestures, or heavy silences. Teach me to ask forgiveness when I have failed, and to offer it freely when I have been hurt. Let love be stronger than the memory of offense. Let respect and tenderness be the language of my home. Let faithfulness, truth, and patience build bridges where there is distance. Free me from the need to always be right, and give me the wisdom to seek what builds up. If a relationship no longer leads me to the good, give me clarity to set boundaries with charity. If there are ties I must restore, grant me initiative and gentleness. Let my dealings with others echo your goodness, be balm for weary hearts, and a sign that you live and reign in the small things. Father, today I ask for protection. Surround my life, my coming and going, with your loving care. Defend me from all evil, visible and invisible. Frustrate the plans that are not from you. Keep away dangers I do not know. Cover my paths with your peace. If there are traps of confusion, reveal them. If there are words meant to wound, neutralize them with your truth. If there are attacks on my spirit, surround me with your joy. Send your angels to guard my day. Place a hedge of light around my loved ones. Guard our health, our rest, our possessions, our decisions. And in every adversity, keep my heart firm, that I may not fall asleep in the death of discouragement, but even in the storm declare, "The Lord is my refuge, my shield, and my song." Lord, I also implore your transformation within me. You are the potter, and I am clay in your hands. Do not discard me for my cracks. Shape me with your patience. If there is hardness, soften me. If there is distortion, correct me. If there are old fractures, repair them with your tenderness. Give me a new heart, able to love without measure, to serve without seeking applause, to persevere without dramatics. Remove from me what does not reflect your face. Pride that refuses to learn, envy that steals peace, laziness that delays good, anxiety that doubts your providence, bitterness that poisons. Fill the empty places with your spirit, and teach me the freedom of the children of God, the freedom expressed in goodness, in truth, in the beauty of a life given. I beg you, God of comfort, for healing of my emotions. Look at the wounds that bear my name, the losses that still ache, the fears that return when silence falls. Lay your hand upon my memory and heal burning recollections. Order my inner world. Silence the voices of accusation that are not from you. Lift my self-worth according to your gaze, and not by comparison. If there is anxiety, teach me to breathe in your presence. If there is sadness, perfume it with hope. If there is guilt, remind me of the power of your forgiveness. Let my thoughts be a well-tended garden, where the weeds of lies find no place, and where truth blooms with strength. Give me healthy habits to care for body and mind, and discipline to persevere in what makes me grow. Lord, I bring before you my family. You know each one by name and story. You know what troubles them, what strengthens them, what they need from you. Bless their health, their work, their studies, their projects. Strengthen the bonds of unity. Keep us safe from harm. Deliver us from division and wounding words. Make of our home a small sanctuary where your peace reigns. If there are children, surround them with your tenderness and guide them in truth. If there are elders, cover them with your comfort and companionship. If any are going through trials, grant them grace to endure. If any have drifted away, reach them with your mercy and gently call them back. Let bread and gratitude never be lacking at our table. Let kindness and listening reign in our conversations. Let your counsel be present in our decisions. Good Father, give me a heart docile to your correction, for without correction there is no growth. If you show me an error, give me courage to amend it. If you reveal a vice, give me zeal to overcome it. If you invite me to take a step of faith, give me boldness to obey. Let my life be a workshop of your grace. Let my character be tempered like iron in the fire of trials. Let my hope grow stronger than my fears. Let my faith be more tenacious than my how longs. Grant me holy habits, constant prayer, fruitful silence, reading of your word, concrete service, discreet generosity, humble examination at day's end. Let the practice of good carve in my soul the memory of your ways, so that my first response to anguish may be to seek you. I also ask, Lord, that you make me an instrument of peace in my immediate surroundings. Open my eyes to needs I can meet, to injustices I can face with courage, to sorrows I can embrace with empathy. Give me creativity to resolve conflicts, patience to accompany processes, strength to not retreat in difficulty. Let every encounter today be ground where you sow through me a seed of hope. And if by nightfall I do not see visible fruits, remind me that you work in secret and that growth often happens beyond my calculations. Beloved Father, I return to the heart of the psalm and make its resolution my own. I trust in your love. I do not trust in my merits, nor in my strength, nor in my strategies. I trust in your unfailing love. Therefore, even in the midst of anguish, I choose joy as an act of faith. I choose to sing because you have been good to me. I choose to walk because you enlighten my eyes. I choose to persevere because you uphold my steps. Take my petitions, arrange them in your wisdom, and answer them in your way and in your time, which are always better than mine. And while what I hope for is yet to come, grant me the greatest gift of all, to remain in your peace. Lord, this morning, as I renew my trust in your mercy, enlarge my heart so that it does not shrink into my own needs. I want to pray for my neighbor, for my community, for the nations, because I know your gaze embraces all, and your compassion has no borders. You hear the cry of those who weep in secret, and you uphold the weary. That is why I come to intercede, like one carrying clay jars filled with names and stories, knowing that you are able to turn the water of our tears into the wine of hope. Look, Lord, upon those who awaken today with heavy hearts, upon those who, asking, "How long?" feel there is no answer. Draw near to them with your comfort, enlighten their eyes, restore their spirit. I present to you the sick, Lord, those in hospitals, at home, and in places where resources are lacking, and also where diagnoses abound but hope is scarce. Pass with your goodness through quiet rooms, waiting areas, and endless corridors. Strengthen caregivers, companions, and all who hold on to faith in the midst of pain. Grant wisdom to health professionals, patience to families, and serenity to those undergoing long treatments. If there is anguish, turn it into trust. If there is pain, mingle it with your peace. If there is loneliness, send companionship. If there is fear, clothe it with your promise, so that even without seeing the full outcome, they may still say with David, "I trust in your love, and my heart rejoices in your salvation." I intercede for those without work, for those who seek and cannot find, for those who feel their effort is never enough. Open doors of opportunity, Lord. Open minds for creativity, hands for diligence, hearts for solidarity. May communities give birth to initiatives that create dignified jobs. May collaboration overcome selfishness. May justice correct abuses, and may the dignity of every person be respected. To those who feel useless or discarded today, remind them that their worth does not depend on a salary, but on your gaze that calls them by name. Enlighten, my God, those who make economic decisions, that they may favor the common good and protect the most vulnerable. I bring before you families, Lord, the ones enjoying unity and the ones living in quiet tension, the ones celebrating births and the ones passing through grief, the ones keeping the faith and the ones grown cold. Pour over households your reconciling peace, your patient correction that does not humiliate, your joy that turns the table into an altar of gratitude. Protect children and adolescents from confusion. Guide the young in their decisions. Sustain marriages in fidelity. Accompany the lonely with your close friendship. Surround the elderly with respectful companionship and tenderness. If there is violence, break the chains. If there are addictions, set captives free. If there is distrust, rebuild bridges. If there is lack, provide generously through hands willing to share. Father, my heart aches for those living on the streets, for migrants, for those who have lost home, land, or family for many reasons. You were a stranger among your own when there was no room in the inn. Therefore, move our hearts to hospitality and justice. May our communities not grow accustomed to passing by the wound. Let concrete works of mercy arise: shelter, food, listening, guidance, paths to reintegration. Bless those who already serve quietly. Strengthen those who pour themselves out for just causes. Multiply resources. Protect volunteers. Breathe hope into the discouraged, so that no one feels invisible, since you yourself walk hidden in the face of the one who suffers. I intercede for those in prison and for those who work within systems of justice. Look, Lord, upon repentant hearts that long to start again. Open paths of real rehabilitation, opportunities for work and study, processes that restore dignity without denying the truth. Give wisdom to judges, defenders, and authorities, that they may seek justice with fairness without favoritism or corruption. Where there are oppressive structures, expose them with your truth. Where there is abuse of power, bring it into your light. Where vengeance tends to rule, sow the seeds of restorative justice. Teach us to build communities where prevention has more strength than punishment, and where compassion and responsibility walk together. I bring into your presence those who struggle with mental health, anxiety, depression, dark thoughts, confusions that cloud judgment. Surround, Lord, with your peace those who feel they cannot go on. Grant access to professional help, a patient support network, and words that do not judge, listening that truly sustains. Remove the shame that often keeps people from asking for help. Break stigma. Open spaces in our communities to accompany without fear or ignorance. Enlighten my eyes to recognize the signs in those around me, and give me the sensitivity to draw near with respect and love. I intercede for communities of faith. Strengthen those who proclaim your word. Purify intentions. Renew zeal for humble service. May our celebrations become concrete, works of mercy, praise, turned into shared bread, visits to the sick, comfort for the sorrowful, defense of the weak. Guard your people from lukewarmness and hardness, from division and pride. Grant us docility to your spirit, unity in essentials, and charity in all things. Let Psalm 13 teach us to pray truthfully, to intercede perseveringly, and to sing even before we see the answer. Lord, I place before you those who hold authority in nations and in our cities. Give them wisdom from above, upright intention, sensitivity to suffering, and courage to defend truth and justice. Keep them far from corruption, abuse, and indifference. Surround them with honest advisors. Grant attentive listening to the least, and decisions that foster social peace, quality education, accessible health care, security that respects human dignity, and care for creation. Where there is conflict, make leaders artisans of dialogue. Where there is structural poverty, inspire policies that create real opportunity. Where there is violence, raise up paths that build true reconciliation. I present to you, Lord, all who work in education and all students. May classrooms be places of the search for truth, mutual respect, and integral growth. Bless teachers with patience and passion. Protect students from despair and crushing pressure. Open doors for those who lack resources. Promote a culture of effort, honesty, and service, that wisdom be more than information and become lives that do good. I remember also those who give their lives in essential services, civil protection, emergency care, environmental stewardship, transport, sanitation, supply. So often their work goes unseen. Today I ask that you sustain them, protect them, and fill them with quiet joy for the good they do. May their vocation be recognized and their labor justly valued. If any are exhausted, renew their strength. If any are in danger, be their shield. I pray, God of peace, for unity within communities. Where there are divisions, sow reconciliation. Where there is gossip, install the silence that builds. Where there are prejudices, open paths of encounter. Where a throwaway culture has wounded, raise up initiatives of inclusion. Teach us to see one another as brothers and sisters, to serve according to our gifts, to rejoice with those who rejoice, and to weep with those who weep. May the we be stronger than the I, and may the common good be the compass of our decisions. Lord, remember those who labor for social justice and the defense of life in all its stages. Grant clarity to their thoughts, purity to their intentions, prudence to their actions, and perseverance in adversity. May dialogue, respect, and truth-born firmness never be lacking. And when they raise their voices for those who have none, let them do so with gentleness and courage, without hatred or violence, moved by your love that serves and gives itself. Father, I present to you those who have lost their faith, those tired of waiting, those who feel your silence is final. Draw near to them with your tenderness. Send humble witnesses of your goodness along their path. Reopen doors through which they may return without fear. And to those who persevere, grant constancy and contagious joy. May the cry of the psalm become a song on many lips, and may trust blossom where it seemed impossible. Today, as a small intercessor, I unite myself to your great heart and say, look, answer, enlighten our eyes. And while the answer comes, let praise never fail us to sustain, nor hope that urges us to serve for you, Lord, have been good to us and will continue to be, now and forever. Beloved Father, today I stand before you, desiring to grow within, not to impress anyone, but to respond faithfully to the love that calls me. In the echo of Psalm 13, where lament becomes trust and darkness yields to praise, I recognize that true change begins in the heart. Enlighten my eyes, Lord. Renew my mind, that I may learn to see as you see, to think according to your word, to feel according to your spirit. Teach me to leave behind the patterns that bind me to fear and to embrace the freedom of one who knows he is never alone. Let me collaborate with you in my own transformation, as one who enters the Master's workshop and allows himself to be shaped without resistance, knowing that every correction comes imbued with tenderness. Lord, I want to train my soul in perseverance. So often I have confused a moment's fervor with a lifetime's faithfulness. And when emotion faded, so did my commitment. Teach me the constancy of those who choose the good every day, to rise for prayer when the body feels heavy, to listen when I would rather speak, to serve when I long to be served, to forgive when memory clings to offense. Let my faith not depend on inner moods, but on the rock of your promise. Let my hope not cling to immediate results, but to your unchanging faithfulness. In the psalm, David chooses to trust before he sees. I too want to practice that exercise of the soul that calls you Father, even when heaven seems silent. Renew my thoughts, Lord. There are ideas that have become like scratched lenses. They distort reality, exaggerate threats, minimize grace. Change my I cannot into I can do all things with you. Change my it is always the same into you make all things new. Change my no one understands me into you know me and you sustain me. I want a mind trained in truth, able to distinguish between the voice of accusation and your gentle correction, between the noise of fear and the music of your peace. Give me the habit of filtering my thoughts through the sieve of your word. If it does not edify, if it is not true, if it does not lead to good, may it find no shelter within me. And when dark thoughts persist, may they strike against the wall of grateful memory the times you protected me, the doors you opened, the consolations you gave. Strengthen my will to choose what pleases you. I do not want to be a tourist in your presence, but a disciple who learns your ways. If I must renounce habits that steal my freedom, give me resolve. If I must adopt routines that help me mature, grant me discipline. May my day have holy pillars, real time in prayer, attentive reading of your word, a concrete gesture of service, a humble evening examen. I do not seek perfectionism, I seek coherence. I do not seek to appear strong, I seek to be true. If I fall, may I rise without drama and begin again. If I succeed, may I not be proud but give you the glory. May my growth not be measured by comparing myself to others, but by resembling a little more each day the meek and humble Jesus. Work also in my affections, Lord. Order my love so that I may love what is first, and not waste myself chasing crumbs. If I have misplaced my security, recall it into you. If I have turned into absolute what is only temporary, relativize it with your light. If I have tied my joy to what changes, anchor it in your salvation. Teach me to enjoy with gratitude what you give, to release with peace what you ask, and to wait with hope for what you promise. And when my sensitivity is shaken, teach me to breathe in your presence, so that feeling may not govern but rather accompany the truth. Lord, form in me a tested character. I want to be a person of firm word and tender heart, someone trustworthy in both small and great matters, someone who is not sold by applause nor paralyzed by criticism. If there is hardness in me, soften it. If fragility, strengthen it. If sharp edges that wound, smooth them with your patience. Grant me humility to learn from everyone and courage to defend what is just without arrogance. In daily tasks, teach me to be punctual, responsible, honest, and generous. And when no one sees me, may my conscience be as awake as if the whole world were watching. That silent coherence is praise that honors you and light that guides others. Lord, I want to grow in practical compassion. True transformation does not lock me into myself, it sends me to my brother. Open my eyes to see nearby needs, to notice the weariness of one who smiles out of courtesy, to offer a glass of water where there is thirst, to listen attentively. Make me creative for good. A timely message, a visit that encourages, concrete support, an initiative that opens a future. Let my faith not be reduced to beautiful words, but become bread for the hungry, embrace for the lonely, a path for the lost. If another's anguish overwhelms me, remind me that I am not the Savior, but I am your small collaborator. Show me my possible part today. Lord, teach me to manage my time well. I want to live with the rhythm of wisdom, intense work and true rest, silence that listens and words that build, realistic planning and openness to your surprises. Free me from the distraction that steals hours and from the anxiety that fills them without meaning. Show me what to prioritize and what to postpone, what to conclude and what to let go, what to persevere in and what to release. Let the clock not be a tyrant, but an instrument. Let my schedule not be a cage, but an offering. And as I order my day, let there be spaces of gratuity where your presence can breathe. Pluck, Lord, the strings of my hope. There are seasons when, how long, seems the only melody. Then your spirit reminds me that every dawn is training in patient trust. Teach me to celebrate small advances, to recognize silent victories, to give thanks for the seed before seeing the harvest. When I grow weary, lead me back to the memory of your promises. When I doubt, guide me to the experience of your goodness. When I compare, help me look at your unique map for me. Let my hope not be naive, but a firm virtue that faces reality and still chooses to believe that you are at work. Lord, I want a tongue tamed by your love, for often peace or the wound of a heart depends on my words. Set a guard over my mouth, Lord, that I may not lie, exaggerate, or gossip, nor unleash violence. May my words carry healing, my silences give space, my confrontations seek restoration, and my praise be sincere and timely. And when I fail in speech, grant me the humility to ask for forgiveness without delay. Let my way of speaking also be a way of loving. Make of my life, Lord, a school of prayer. I do not want to pray only when I am in pain. I want prayer to be the very air of my days. Teach me to speak to you with simplicity, to listen to you attentively, to intercede without weariness, and to give thanks promptly. May Psalm 13 continue to be my map. When, how long, invades me, I will tell you without masks. When I need light, I will cry, enlighten my eyes. And when trust burns again, I will sing, for you have been good to me. Make me prayerful in the kitchen, at the office, in transport, in line, and in rest. Let your presence permeate the ordinary, like a discreet fragrance that transforms everything. And finally, Lord, I ask for gentle boldness to obey. True transformation shows itself when I take concrete steps. If you call me to reconcile, I will go. If you ask me to release a complaint that poisons me, I will release it. If you call me to begin a project in service to others, I will begin. If you show me a vice I must fight, I will battle with you by my side. Give me companions who encourage and correct me. Give me mentors who inspire me. Make me also a brother to those who need support. And in all things, may the declaration of the psalmist resound. I trust in your love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, for he has been good to me. Thus this morning becomes a workshop where you, Lord, shape my life in the image of your Son, until lament and song are one single thing, a life surrendered, resting in your mercy. Lord, I come to the end of this morning prayer with a calm pulse and a heart turned toward you, grateful for your presence that has accompanied me in every line, in every sigh, in every how long, transformed into hope. Before you I place what I am and what I do, what I understand and what still hurts, sure that your love is greater than my questions and your faithfulness stronger than any storm. I have walked with you along the path of Psalm 13. I have spoken my lament without masks. I have asked for your illuminating gaze. I have trusted in your mercy. And now, like David, I choose to sing for the good you have done. May this decision be the music of my whole day, not a song of escape, but of conviction. Not because everything is solved, but because you are with me. Thank you, Lord, for the light that has already dawned upon my doubts, for the peace that grows beyond my calculations, for the clarity that plants concrete steps within me. Thank you for reminding me that I do not walk alone, that your promises sustain me, and that your discreet and perfect providence always arrives on time. Keep me in humility to recognize your gifts, in perseverance to hold on to what is good, in gentleness to respond with love, in courage to choose truth. If contrary winds rise, let their noise not frighten me. If a wait grows long, let weariness not defeat me. If a challenge appears, let me not lack your strength. Repeat within me, like a refrain that never ends, this simple and powerful certainty. I trust in your love, my heart rejoices in your salvation. I ask you, Lord, to seal this morning with 3 graces I desire to guard. The first is, trust not born of what I see but of who you are, not dependent on emotions, but on your living word, not dissolved in noise, but affirmed in the silence where you speak. The second is joy, the joy of knowing myself loved, forgiven, and sent, not fleeting euphoria, but luminous serenity that passes through valleys and mountains. The third is gratitude, an attentive memory of your works, eyes that see your footprints in the small things, the decision to thank before I complain. With these 3, Lord, I will walk today as one who has found the true compass. I present to you, Father, what awaits me today: people, tasks, decisions, unexpected events. Give me a heart attentive to listen more than speak, hands ready to serve without calculation, clear eyes to recognize the good, even where others see only shadows. May my conversations carry truth and tenderness, my projects justice and service, my rest simplicity and praise. And if the night arrives with unfinished matters, may it not rob me of peace. I will remember that you work while I sleep, and that your faithfulness never takes a pause. Teach me to release what is not in my hands, and to do with love what is within them, for in that humble cooperation with you, daily miracles blossom. Lord, bless my home and those I love. Let peace that reconciles reign in our house, patience that understands, joy that shares. Guard our steps from all harm. Open doors of goodness, sustain our health of body and spirit. Bless also those I will meet on the way. May my dealings be signs of your kindness, small bridges toward your comfort. If someone comes to me weary, let them find rest. If with doubts, let them find a word of encouragement. If with wounds, let them find respect and care. Make me a simple instrument of your mercy. And now, Lord, I want to speak blessing over those who pray this morning. Prayer with Psalm 13, this powerful prayer of trust in the midst of anguish. Over your daughter, over your son, I implore a reign of peace. May the how long that troubles them today be transformed into a trusting prayer, and by evening may they recognize signs of your favor. May your ever-open hands sustain their faith. May your faithful voice guide their decisions. May your ever-new light illumine their eyes so they do not fall asleep in the death of discouragement. Where there is fear, place courage. Where there is confusion, bring clarity. Where there is dryness, cause springs to flow. Where there is guilt, pour out forgiveness. Where there is loneliness, send companionship. And may their hearts, even in the midst of battle, keep the song. I will sing to the Lord, for he has been good to me. O Sadan, I declare, Lord, over this day, your loving protection, that you dismantle what is not from you, close paths of evil and open ways of good, that you cover our going out and coming in with your peace. I declare your exact provision, that neither bread nor opportunity be lacking, that neither creativity nor diligence be lacking, that neither wise counsel nor the strength to persevere be lacking. I declare your effective comfort, that the one who weeps may be embraced, the one who doubts enlightened, the one who falls lifted up. And above all, I declare your constant presence. You are, you see, you answer, you illumine, you guide, you save. Lord, at the end I join the psalmist and lift my praise. I do not postpone the song until everything is perfect. I praise you now, here, with what I have and with what I lack, because you are good and your love never fails. Receive this morning as a simple offering, as a lamp lit upon your altar, as a promise to walk with you. May my mind remember, my will choose, and my works confirm what my lips have said. And if at any moment the shadow grows again, I will return my heart to these words we have prayed together and find in them the path back. Upon you who listen, I call down this blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and grant you his favor. May the Lord show you his mercy and give you peace. May your whole being, thoughts, affections, decisions be filled with his presence. May you walk with confidence, serve with joy, wait with patience, love with generosity. And when the day closes, may you say with gratitude, "Today I saw the goodness of the Lord. In the mighty name of Jesus, Amen." If this prayer touched your heart, I invite you to support this message of faith. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you do not miss any prayer. Share this video with someone who needs hope today. In the comments, leave your prayer intention or a testimony of what the Lord has done in your life. We will pray together as a community and rejoice with your victories. Your participation helps more people receive comfort and faith. Thank you for joining me in this prayer. May the peace of the Lord guide your steps, strengthen your heart, and grant you a day fruitful in hope. I embrace you in faith and thank you for your company. If this prayer has blessed your life, click on the recommended video that appears on your screen there. You will find teachings and prayers that will strengthen your heart and help you persevere in the Lord's way. Continue deepening in his word with trust and gratitude. May God bless you abundantly.